Greetings, 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 greetings. Welcome to Terrific Thursday and Storytime with Dr. Helen Tinsley. I hope all is well. I hope that everyone's having a wonderful day. I was a little hesitant to do Storytime because it's raining here and it was thunder. And thunder and lightning, I like to just be quiet and not be on too much technology. But it stopped, so here I am. So, welcome to another day of story time. Hi, Aunt Carol. I was just saying I was not going to do this because of the thunder, but it stopped, so here I am. I know you turn everything off in the thunder, Aunt Carol. Any rate, we're here, so let's begin. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine in the stories that I read every day. So this story is by Whoopi Goldberg, and it's Whoopi's Big Book of Manners by Whoopi Goldberg. Manners seems to be something that kids don't learn a lot about anymore. So let's see in here. Oops. Nobody wants to see your finger in your nose. Yeah. But before we get to that, let's start with these special words. They're special because they're polite and too rarely heard. Don't forget to use them. Hello, thank you, no thank you, you're welcome, please, may I, excuse me. Well, forgetting to use these words is not as bad as forgetting to use them is not as bad as interrupting. You're in the middle of a great story and your kitty cat decides to interrupt you with a loud meow. You say, "Oh, hello, nice kitty," and continue your story. But again, kitty interrupts, meow. You say, "Nice kitty," and go on talking, meow. You look at kitty annoyed because you were in the middle of a great story and realize kitty is holding a shovel and a suitcase and you've forgotten to clean kitty's litter box. You explain to kitty that if she had just said, "Excuse me," things would have happened a lot quicker. Excuse me. But interrupting is not as bad as forgetting to clean up after yourself. If you've just made a 9-layer double fudge marshmallow strawberry white cream cake and you've used every pot in the kitchen and there's flour everywhere, do not touch the walls or go sit on the couch and watch TV. Clean up after yourself so you can enjoy the cake before you go to bed. Procrastinating does not help. I don't know about you, but that made me want to get a cake. But forgetting to clean up after yourself is not as bad as this is a big one today coughing or sneezing without covering your mouth. Just because you feel okay and you think everyone is healthy because they're taking their echinacea and they are bundled up on cold days to protect themselves and you figure they won't get sick, cover your mouth anyway. Let me repeat that. Cover your mouth anyway. But coughing or sneezing without covering your mouth is not as bad as forgetting to knock on a closed door. You never know if someone is doing an experiment or wrapping a birthday present. Or maybe they just want to be left alone. Some surprises you just do not want to know about. Knock on a closed door. But forgetting to knock on a closed door is not as bad as not saying you're sorry. Don't pretend you don't know what's going on when you see everybody looking at you, tapping their feet, rolling their eyes, breathing hard and heavy. Be brave. Ask the magic questions. Did I do something wrong? If you did, say, I'm sorry. But not saying you're sorry is not as bad as, well, lots of things, especially at the table. Don't wipe your mouth with your hands. If you don't have a napkin or tissue, use your shirt sleeve. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my eye. Something got in my eye. Or wait, I'll take that back. Excuse yourself from the table and get a napkin. If you're eating if you're eating creamed corn, oatmeal, peas, or mashed potatoes, do not use your hands unless you're an ogre. In most cases, ogres are exempt from having certain table manners. It's a cultural thing about ogres. Don't smack, chomp, or slurp at the table unless you're from China. More on this later. I don't know about that one. Don't get into a burping contest unless you're from Korea. More on that later, too. I hope this is a politically correct book, folks. I haven't read it before. Don't talk with food in your mouth. Don't lick your plate. Since it's Whoopi, and she says more about it later, and the New York Times, it's on their #1 bestseller list, I'm assuming she cleans up things and it's not politically incorrect. We shall see. But not having good table manners is not as bad as bad phone manners. If you're the caller, always say your name, ask to speak to the person you're calling, and end the sentence with please. Here's an example. Hello, this is Azalea Christmas Bubble. May I speak to Odenda Finney, please? If the person you're calling is not at home or not available, say your name and number clearly and slowly, especially if it's on an answering machine, so that she can call you back. Excuse me. If you're the callee and the call is not for you but for someone who is home and taking phone calls, say, would you please hold on? Go and get the person. Your job is done. If the person is not home, say, Odenda is not at home. May I take a message? Write it down. You know you're not going to remember it. Thank them for calling, put the message where the person can find it, and go about your day or evening. But bad phone manners is not as bad as bad cellular phone manners. Oops. Don't think Serena Williams would be happy at Wimbledon or Tiger Woods would not roar at the Masters if he heard your cell phone ring. These are the worst places to be on your cellular phone. In a car, at a church, a mosque, or a temple, in a library, at a sporting event, and in a restaurant. I hate to see people on the phone in a restaurant. A few unnamed friends of mine who may be logged on always take pictures of their food in a restaurant. But having bad cellular phone manners is not as bad as rudeness at the movies or in the theater. Don't talk. People can always hear you. Whisper. Whisper if you must. Unwrap your candy before the curtain goes up. Go to the bathroom before you take your seat. And turn off your phone. But rudeness at the movies or in the theater is not as bad as being a poor sport. There are 6 rules for kids. 1. Be a considerate spectator. 2. Don't yell in other people's ears. 3. Cheer your team, but don't aggravate the people around you. 4. At all costs, avoid temper tantrums. They are not attractive. 5. Don't yell ugly words. It makes everybody feel bad. 6. Remember to congratulate the winner and compliment the loser because we know everybody tries their best. There is one rule for grown-ups. Don't yell at the coach because you think little Magilla is not getting enough playing time or you think you can do a better job. If you can do a better job, go get a team of your own to coach so the parents can yell at you because you're not putting little peon in the game. If you're a poor sport, your kid will be too. It's a vicious cycle, so somebody has to break it. But being a poor sport is not as bad as elevator rudeness. If you're in the elevator, even if you have never been in one before and the buttons are calling you, do not press all the buttons. Fight the urge. It could be one of the most difficult challenges of your life. Do not do it. When the elevator door opens, give people enough time to get off the elevator before you try to get on. Never put perfume or cologne on before entering an elevator or a plane. And don't leave a stinky air biscuit behind you anywhere. Ew. But elevator rudeness is not as bad as doing impolite things when you're in another country. Now, let's see. Here are some good manners you should know about if you are traveling to other countries. I've never researched any of this, so we hope it's all politically correct. In Asia, some people may bow instead of shaking hands. Suggestion, don't bow at the same time. You could knock each other out. Now, you know it's Whoopi, so there's humor. In Sweden, people never speak with raised voices. Suggestion, be prepared to stand really close and always carry breath freshener. In Germany, it's impolite to put your hands in your lap during a meal. As long as your hands aren't in your nose, they can go anywhere else. In Korea, it's polite to belch at the table. It shows you enjoyed your meal. Note, it's fine in Korea, but it may not go well in other countries. In China, slurping your soup is common and not impolite. Note, again, it's fine in China, but it's not fine in most other places. In Italy, friends will greet each other friends with a kiss. You might want to save some of that breath freshener from Sweden. In Russia, if a woman whistles, it could be considered unladylike. So would chewing tobacco. In Japan, it's impolite to eat or drink something while walking down the street, except for cows who are exempt. Funny, when I was growing up, my parents would not let us walk down the street eating or drinking. Maybe drinking a soda, but not eating anything. But even doing all those impolite things in all those foreign countries is not as bad as, no, I can't say it. Really, I better not. It's just too icky. Okay, if you're going to make me. Maybe if you're alone in the privacy of your own home or bathroom and not in a car, on a bus, or in a plane, in school, on the roof, or in the office, watching TV, in the movies, or on an elevator, it may be the only time, and this opens up, you can stick your finger up your nose, but don't let anyone see. Ew. Yucky. And that's the end. Whoopi's Big Book of Manners. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll tell you one thing, manners is not as common as it used to be, just like common sense is no longer common. Any rate, I hope you enjoyed the story. Hi, Donald, my librarian friend. Hi, Aunt Carol, Charles, and Sam, and anyone else that may be watching. I hope you're all well. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful afternoon. I can't believe we're almost at the end of another week. It seems like, boom, as soon as we turn around, the week is over. Any rate, be well, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time, same place. Mwah. Peace.